Hello, my smartest artists. Welcome to lesson number 7. Can you believe it? We've been making art together at home for 7 weeks. And this week, I'm at my house doing this video with you because the art project that we are gonna do is a self-portrait. And so I thought it'd be appropriate to do it here at my house. But before we talk about this next art project, I wanted to tell you that I am so proud of you guys. You have been amazing MLK SOA artists over distance learning. And I'm so impressed with the art that you've been making at home. You guys have been inquisitive. You've been open-minded to creating at home in different circumstances than our classroom. You've been proud of your work. I see you guys smiling so big when you upload your pictures of yourself with your art. I see that you are being super creative. Man, you guys are doing like above and beyond creative work that I could ever imagine at school you've been doing at home. So a shout out to all of you and your families that are sitting beside you and doing your artwork. I'm extremely proud to be your MLK SOA art teacher to the moon and back. So great job. We have 2 more lessons coming up. If you still haven't done the first 6 lessons, then make sure you go back to YouTube or in your Google Classroom or in Dojo and find those videos, because I still would love to see any of those lessons that you've created, starting from the color wheel all the way to last week, which was super fun because we got into that motto magic and we created our favorite desserts based on Wayne Thiebaud's art. So if you haven't had a chance, no worries, you could still do it and you can still watch those videos and use those art supplies in your art kit and get creative with them. All right, so lesson 7. We are gonna do a quarantine or shelter in place or distance learning self-portrait. And a self-portrait is a portrait of ourselves, right? So we are going to explore our house again for some items that would help describe who we are as we are sheltering in place or as we are learning at home. So here's the prompt.
This week's art project is inspired by another art teacher who teaches in South Korea named Libby Beaty. And she created a quarantine portrait for her students to do during virtual learning. And it included taking a self-portrait, so a portrait of yourself, with a camera as the art tool. She created this project inspired by a professional artist named Greg Segal. Greg Segal is the artist or photographer that we're going to look at for this week to be inspired by in creating our quarantine self-portrait. Greg Segal studied photography and film at the California Institute of the Arts. He also got a Master's of Fine Arts from NYU or New York University, and he also got a degree from the University of Southern California. Segal really likes to take pictures and do photography of people from around the world. He likes to take pictures that show culture, how we see ourselves, maybe the beliefs we have or the values we have. And you can see in his art, he uses bright colors to contrast in the background, or he'll make pictures of really interesting things that cause the viewer who are looking at his work to be thoughtful and open-minded about people in the rest of the world. So we're going to look at some photos based on his book. He did a series of photos showing what kids around the world eat over the course of 1 week. So take a look at these photos from a series he called Daily Bread. When you look at these photos, you will see some similarities in his series. One is the subject. in all of his photos for the Daily Bread series, there are kids as the subject in his portraits. And you will see that the kids are all posed differently, but they are all laying down on a floor. The camera is above the subjects or the people from straight above shooting down at the kids. This gives an interesting perspective because the point of his Daily Bread series is to show what kids eat over a week. So in order to show this large amount of food, he had to do it from this overlooking perspective where his camera is above so that he can fit all of those items in along with the subject. And then I want you to go around your house and you're going to look for 12 to 15 items that you just can't live without in quarantine. So you're going to walk around and find some things. Let me help you brainstorm a little bit. Some things that you might not be able to live without during quarantine is your school laptop. Maybe it's the headphones that you use. Maybe it's a stuffed animal that you keep with you all the time. Maybe it's certain music. Maybe it's a pet. Maybe it is some items like your favorite book. Maybe you're reading a book series that you love in quarantine. Maybe you're learning a new instrument. Maybe you are taking on a new hobby. Maybe you're doing some sewing or some weaving. Anything that you've done during quarantine, different items that you can't live without. Once you find your objects, you are going to find a spot in your house that is a pretty big open space. This could be a carpet, could be the floor. If you have grass outside, that could work too. And you're going to visualize a place that you're going to be laying down on your back for the portrait. And then you're going to start placing the items, the 12 to 15 items around where you might be laying. So if we look back at the artist that we talked about, you'll see how he created food that went all around the person in the portrait. So you are going to lay out those items around what's going to be where you lay for your body. Once you do that, you're going to need some help for this project. And I think it'll be fine because I can tell you guys have been getting some art support already up to this point. So you're going to need somebody to help you to take the picture of you laying down in the middle of all of these quarantine items. It could be a sibling, it could be a parent, it could be an aunt, an uncle, it could be a grandparent, and they're gonna need to take a photo of you, just like the artist that we looked at. Then you will upload your photos of your art and you're gonna put them on the Class Dojo art and music class, and it'll say quarantine self-portrait will be the title of the activity, and you'll upload it to that. I cannot wait to see your photos and see what you guys have created and be able to get a glimpse of the things that you found to be real treasures during quarantine.